Oh, hey, what's up? Psych. No one's here. 'Cause you're blocked.
Message, but it's lost in the void. Guess you dropped something I finally destroyed. No receipts, no trace, no digital noise. You're blocked, you're blocked. Can't text me, can't call me. You're blocked, you're blocked. Out of my world now, baby.
The emotional gap, the distance between him and her. Dear Bumblebee, he was raised to be steady, to never cry, to keep his truth locked deep inside. Taught that strength meant silence, he learned sort of grace, to hold his pain and hide his face, while she was taught to heal and tend, to listen, to nurture, to love without end. She learned emotions could mend what broke. He learned they'd choke him if he spoke. She met his walls with open hands, trying to teach what he can't understand. Her softness scared him. It felt too real. He mistook her death for wounds to heal. He ran from the mirror. She made him see the parts of himself he refused to be. And she, exhausted, began to fade, tired of fixing what he never made. Two hearts divided by the same old lie that men can't feel and women must try. But she's learning strength isn't pain in disguise, and he's learning tears don't mean his demise. Maybe one day they'll meet halfway, not in power, but in the courage to stay, because healing was never his or hers alone. It's the bridge between hearts that both had grown. Love me.
Yes, yes, let me live my life. Yes, yes, I wanna be free. Yes, yes, don't tell me what to do. Yes, yes, I am my own woman. I am my own woman.
Hello, hello, my beautiful bumblebees. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I'm your host, Vic Mary, and if it's your first time here, welcome. So, let's talk about how this poem shows up in modern dating. The emotional gap, the distance between him and her. This poem isn't just about him and her. It's about the emotional reality a lot of us are living today. Men are raised to hide everything, and women are raised to heal everything. One side avoids, the other side overfunctions, and somewhere between those two extremes, we end up exhausted, disappointed, and questioning ourselves. The poem shows this dynamic perfectly, how she tries to meet his walls with softness, and how he mistakes her softness with something dangerous. How she fades trying to fix what he never built, and how he keeps running from the parts of himself he doesn't want to face. This is the emotional gap. This is the distance between them. And this right here is where so many modern relationships fall apart. I want to go over a few lines in this poem. Maybe one day they'll meet halfway, not in power, but in the courage to stay. When I say maybe one day, I'm not implying hope that these two people will come together, not in this lifetime. The kind of man I'm describing in this poem, he ran away from the mirror. What do I mean by that? A man who runs from the mirror is a man who either can't self-reflect or chooses not to. So when I say maybe, I don't mean us coming back together. I mean if he had the capacity to grow. And truthfully, he didn't. Maybe is theoretical. It's symbolic. It's the possibility that exists in another lifetime, another version of him, but not this one. You may have experienced something like this before. When you're dating someone and it turns into an on and off situation, every time there's conflict, they run. They promise to do better with their words, but nothing actually changes. In my last episode, I mentioned this. When a man messes up, he'll say, "Let me make it up to you." But they don't. Not really. The words are empty. I dated a guy who used to say that and then literally do nothing. His version of making it up was just showing up. And I'm not talking about showing up in the relationship. I'm talking about his presence physically. That's it. Just being there. Look, I'm the kind of person who's naturally happy. I'm good around my friends and my family. So when I catch myself getting upset consistently around someone, I can confidently say, it's not me, it's them. I found myself getting upset when he would make plans and then not communicate, when he couldn't follow through, basic decency. And at first, I took it as him not liking me enough. And that's fine, not a big deal. Or maybe that he was just unreliable. Either way, it wasn't working for me. He was the kind of guy who thought physical intimacy was the solution, and it's not. Listen, listen. If we can't talk things out, if we cannot work through our issues together, then I have no interest in connecting with someone in that way. That's just who I am. And honestly, most women feel that way. His downfall was simple: bad conflict resolution. In the beginning, he got farther with me because there was no expectations. And when small issues came up, he was willing to talk. Even when he didn't have the answers, he was honest. And that honesty pulled me in. That was vulnerability, whether he realizes it or not. But later, that effort disappeared. He wanted relationship benefits while giving casual effort. And whenever he didn't get what he wanted, he would disconnect, go silent, and hope time would just erase the issue. It didn't. It just made me distrust him. And he didn't see that. I don't know what his thought process was, but we weren't seeing eye to eye. The fact that he would go silent reminded me of what my ex used to do. He would go a week without talking to me and then coming back like nothing happened, trying to pick things up where they left off. I didn't want to fucking repeat that again. No, I'm not doing that because that doesn't solve anything, right? If you let it go, in the next month, the same shit's gonna happen and it's just gonna repeat over and over and over. The only way to resolve conflict is to talk through it. So, do I regret giving this guy my time? No. It was a lesson. I learned a lot about myself. I learned how to communicate better. I learned how to stay true to myself, even when someone else couldn't meet me there. I also learned that I was tired of giving chances to men who would perform to impress me. Because some men will wear a mask just to win you over. And this guy, he did the opposite. He was just a regular guy, chill, attractive, fun to be around. But he was lazy. And he even said it himself. I should have believed him. Was he a horrible person? No. He was just a man who didn't have the capacity, or maybe the desire to grow. So, what do you look for next time? A balance. Not a man who performs, not a man who avoids, but a man who can show up consistently, emotionally, mentally, and practically. Because here's the truth: connection requires more than physical chemistry, it requires emotional presence, honesty, effort, and depth. Without those things, a relationship can't grow. The bridge stays broken, the gap stays wide, and the poem ends exactly the way your reality did, with distance. So, Bumblebee, here's something to think about. Are you choosing people with the capacity to meet you halfway? Or are you trying to build a bridge with someone who never planned to cross it? And be honest with yourself. Until next time, Bumblebee. Bye.
Yes, yes, don't tell me what to do. Yes, yes, I am my own